Welcome back in. Fitz The Bill right here on 106.1 ESPN Richmond. I'm Jack Fitzpatrick. Joined now Ryan McGee, a minor league baseball enthusiast, an ACC football expert, and a charlatan, I guess is what a
charlatan.
Yeah, I was a charlatan for 3 years, and I never got that right.
What do they call people in Richmond?
Richmonder.
Richmonder? Okay.
And we're diving right into Richmond, because I know you love minor league baseball.
I do.
Which is one of my, I affectionately call minor league baseball bad baseball. I love bad baseball.
Yes.
There's something about the $2 beers and everything about it. But have you ever made your way up to the Diamond up in Richmond?
No, and Parney is an American treasure. Parney, just ask him, right?
Yeah.
No, he's the man. But no, I've been to the Diamond back in the R Braves days.
Yeah.
I remember the first time I went to the Diamond. I actually kind of grew up in Raleigh.
Okay.
And the Diamond was new.
And it was cool.
It was cool. We went up there, and there's no other ballpark in America that looks like the Diamond, you know. But that being said, it's time for something new, and they're going to get it. And I've not been in a while, and Parney's all over me to come up before the Squirrels move to the new ballpark, because I need to go pay tribute one more time, but we'll see. I'm running out of time.
Yeah, I mean, I think when they built it, the same exact things that you may have seen the first trip you ever took to the Diamond, still there in.
We had that in Charlotte. We have an immaculate
it's beautiful
ballpark here in Charlotte.
Best views, and I'm not paid by Charlotte for this, but best views of the skyline in the city.
The Knights, and I'm a season ticket holder, but my family, we've been season ticket holders for the Knights since the 90s.
Yeah.
And they used to be in a ballpark down in Fort Mill, South Carolina, that was owned by George Shinn, that owned the Hornets, and the ballpark was clearly built for a major league team.
Yeah.
So they could expand. It was down in a hole, and it was the same thing. If you went in 1992, and then you went right before they closed it, the paint had not changed. I mean, it's the exact same paint, so I get it.
So what is it about minor league baseball that brings you so much joy watching it?
So growing up much like growing up in Virginia, right? I mean, you could go up and see, at least when I was growing up, the Nationals weren't there, but you could go to Baltimore or whatever.
Yeah.
But in the Carolinas, all we had was minor league baseball, and we had it in so many towns. And I mean, literally almost every town of any size in North Carolina at some point or another has had a minor league baseball team. So that's what I grew up with. Mm-hmm. And my family, we collected minor league ballparks, right? I mean, I'm up to 135, and so you ever see Ben's Biz? Ben's a tremendous writer for minor league baseball. Mm-hmm. He's at like 180 or so. I'm never going to catch him, but I'm second. But that's what I grew up with, and so when I grew up a kid, we had teams in Kinston and Burlington, and we're in Virginia. We'd go to Lynchburg, and we go to Salem, and we go to all these places, and so that's what we did. Yeah. And that's what I love about it, is it was accessibility. I was a kid in Shelby, North Carolina, and we had a low A team, the Shelby Pirates, and we would go to spaghetti dinners with the team, right? And you get autographs. Yeah. I remember we had a guy named Eddie Vargas, the first baseman. My little brother was like 3, and Eddie looked at him, Sam, I'm going to hit a home run for you tonight. He's from Puerto Rico. He hit one that night. We're like, it's like Babe Ruth. It's like the greatest, yeah. So and it's still, as corporate as it becomes, and minor league baseball obviously now is owned and operated by Major League Baseball, but it's still, when it's done right, like it is in Richmond, it still has that feel to it.
Yeah, I mean, when I lived in Charlotte for a couple of years, a friend of mine and I would drive around, go up to Greensboro for the Grasshoppers, Greenville. We never got to Winston-Salem or any of the other ones, but Kannapolis, all
of them, man. Yeah.
Fantastic.
Every little what's going on? Every little town had. That's the great Reginald Walker. Reggie and I used to work together at ESPNU back in the day.
I got to talk with Reggie. I got back into college football broadcasting, and he was my color commentator, and he was
pro.
He made me sound. I was nervous. First Division I FBS game. It was during COVID.
Yeah.
And a friend of mine was the SID for UNC Charlotte. He calls me up. He goes, "Can you make it for this game?" And I was like, "All right, I'm going to do as much prep as humanly possible." Yep. I walk in. I was like, "Reggie, I'm gonna need your help."
He's the man. When I made this really weird career path to television. Mm-hmm. I was a writer. I was a producer first, and then I became a writer kind of by accident. And then I started doing some TV. And when ESPNU back then did a lot of studio shows. We do the Experts. It's 3 hours every Monday, and it was like 8 guys, and it was me and 7 guys who had played in the NFL. And
you fit right in.
You got to have a writer nerd, right? You got to have a 5'10" writer
glasses.
nerd. Yeah, and it would be me, and it'd be like all these guys, they're in the Hall of Fame, and Reggie was my guy, and so it was. But you were just talking about with you have to learn on the job.
Yeah.
You have to, and so and minor league baseball is like that. When I wrote my book about my summer with the Asheville Tourists, welcome to Circus of Baseball, shameless plug.
Asheville. I was going to plug it, but Asheville Tourists.
Oh, the greatest.
Best ballpark. What was it? Babe Ruth died for a day.
Yeah, he died for a day in Asheville. There was the very first game ever played in that ballpark. Ty Cobb hit a home run. Jackie Robinson played there. Willie Stargell's the greatest player in the history of the Tourists, actually played for the Tourists. And Crash Davis hit his last career home run in McCormick Field and at the end of Bull Durham. And same thing, you have to evolve. The field is the same. In fact, Parney worked there before I did. The field is the same, but the ballpark's being renovated now. And but it still feels like it did when you would go to games in the old ballpark, the original ballpark, back when I was in the 80s when I was growing up.
I could talk minor league baseball all day.
Yeah.
I do want to turn attention a little bit here to ACC since we are here.
We turned this into minor league media days, minor league kickoff.
I was talking with another guy yesterday, and he was a wine nerd, and we got into a 10-minute conversation on wine. I was like, oh wait, that's right. We got to talk ACC football a little bit. We were talking a little before we hit record. Bill Belichick's coming tomorrow.
Yeah. The Circus.
What's your take on UNC going out, bringing in Bill Belichick, and what do you think he brings to the ACC?
I mean, why not? I mean, if you're Carolina, the column I wrote for ESPN.com when Belichick was hired I said, listen, I grew up in Raleigh. My dad was an ACC football official forever. Wrote a book about that too. But my dad's first year as an ACC official was 1981. He retired in 2009. Never saw Carolina win an ACC championship. The last time North Carolina won an ACC championship, Lawrence Taylor was the linebacker. I mean, what are you talking about, right? It was barely in the 80s, 1980.
Yeah.
And so, why not? But what I also wrote, and I was kind of half joking, was it'll be interesting to see how Chapel Hill takes arguably the greatest coach in the history of football and turns it into a solid 9-4, Belk Bowl season, right? Or so it's. I still call it the Belk Bowl, by the way. But it's they've never been able to break the ceiling.
Yeah.
And they've gotten to Charlotte, but when they came to Charlotte for the championship, you knew they were going to win it. And so, if this is the Hail Mary of Hail Marys, the girlfriend stuff, whatever. To me, the girlfriend thing is just. That's indicative of the circus that was going to come with Belichick anyway. If it hadn't been the girlfriend, it would have been what he wore. Or if it hadn't been what he wore, it would have been...
Which has taken away what he's been wearing, which is the tattered Navy stuff.
Right, exactly. And so it's a circus, and that's why Thursday will be amazing. And, regardless. And, I will say this, he has shown more personality media-wise in Chapel Hill than he ever did with the Patriots. And that's not a high bar, but at least he's been a little engaging, as opposed to all my friends that covered the Patriots were like behind closed doors. He would give you information, but we all know the press conference in front of the microphone. So, but yeah, it's gonna be interesting.
What do you think success is for Bill Belichick? Like, is it ACC championship or bust? College football
I
playoff
think
or bust?
Championship.
Yeah.
I don't think the playoff. If you win the ACC, you go to the playoff.
Yeah.
But I think. Getting to Charlotte is goal number one, which they've done before, but left without a trophy. Goal number two now is to win your first ACC championship again since
1980.
Since 1980. You weren't born yet.
I was not even a thought in life.
I was in elementary school in Raleigh. That's how long ago it was. And so I think ESPN had existed for less than a year at that point. So it's so that's the goal is win the conference. But they're not going to do it this year, and I think the goal too is leave the program in a better position than you inherited. And my concern is, does he get bored? Right? Is this all a setup to try to get his son the job? Which that usually doesn't work out. It worked out for Skip Holtz. It didn't work out for a lot of guys. Steve Spurrier's son, and so I want the program to be in better shape than it was when he got there, and we'll see. Lombardi, the GM, is a genius.
Yes.
And so if he does his thing then it should work. But
Yeah.
we'll see.
Already pulling the levers, it seems.
Yeah, but it's going to be entertaining. I love the
yeah.
fact that their first game, I think, is Labor Day night, because I can come back from my SEC. Marty McGee will be in Atlanta.
Yeah.
And I can get back in time to go to Chapel Hill, because I got to see.
Perfect setup.
Yeah,
exactly.
got to see.
Richmond will be playing. Russ Huesman will be on the sidelines. Richmond's head coach will be on the sidelines with Bill Belichick. We are very excited to be carrying that game on ESPN.
There you go. And Spiders, do your job and blow it up.
An FCS upset. I would love to see the post-game Bill Belichick.
And I want everybody to understand. Sometimes it gets out that I grew up in Raleigh and I grew up a North Carolina State fan.
Yeah.
Whatever. That was literally 40 years ago. I mean, but North Carolina fans love to bring that up all the time, because I've been very critical of their program in the past, but rightfully so. But I don't care. I don't care. I don't care who wins any of the games. I really don't. What I want is a great story, and it would be a pretty good story if the Spiders rolled into town and beat the Heels in their first game.
It would be a lot of fun. Ryan, thank you so much for your time. Enjoy ACC Kickoff. Enjoy what Thursday will bring here on radio.
Yeah, and enjoy. And we got the good news with minor league baseball now. They're playing for another 2 months. They played till
you got time.
Middle
you got
of September.
time to make it up to Richmond. Take in the diamond one more time and enjoy the Charlotte Knights as they roll through whatever they're trying to do with the White Sox minor league.
I appreciate it, man.
Thank you so
Jack.
much.
Yes, sir.